Calling of the 12 tribes. Yo, what's up? But Yum, Dan, Shema, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Akar, Softer. Tribes to the south. Shemawan, Yashakar, Zabalawan, Shemai, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Akar, Salt, sir. Tribes to the west. Gad, Ashar, Naphtali, Shemai, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Akar, Soften. Tribes to the north. Roban, Yahawada, Loya, Shamai, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Akar, Soften. Shabbat day blessings in the last Kodash, which is the ancient Hebrew, repeat the Hebrew. Blessed be Yahweh in the name of Mashiach Yahushai that gives us the Sabbath in peace. Barakatah Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahushai, Hawa'ah, Natalanawa, Hashabbat, Bashalom. Blessed be Yahweh in the name of Mashiach Yahushai that gives us the law. Barakatah Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahushai, Hawa'ah, Natalanawa, HaTorah. Blessed be Yahweh in the name of Mashiach Yahushai that gives us the light to see. Barakatah Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahushai, Hawa'ah, Natalanawa, Ha'awur, Laka'ah. Blessed be Yahweh in the name of Mashiach Yahushai that gives us the ram horn to call people. Barakatah Yahweh, Bahasham, Mashiach, Yahushai, Hawa'ah, Salanawa, Ha'awur, Ha'ayah, Haran, Lakra'ah, Ha'ain. Blessed be Yahweh in the name of Mashiach Yahushai that gives us the olive oil to anoint Israel. Barakatah Yahweh, Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahushai, Hawa'ah, Salanawa, Hasheman, Zayat, Lamashak, Yasha'ala, Bahasham, Mashiach, Yahushai, the water, the yard, Amen.
The book of Psalms, chapter 92 and verse 1. It is a good thing to give thanks unto Yahweh and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High, to show forth thy loving kindness in the morning and thy faithfulness every night. Upon an instrument of 10 strings, upon the psaltery, upon the harp with the sound. For thou, Yahweh, hast made me glad through thy work. I will triumph in the works of thy hands. O Yahweh, how great thy words, and thy thoughts are very deep. And foolish man knows not neither doeth the fool understand this. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they should be destroyed forever. But thou, Yahweh, art most high forevermore. For lo, thy enemies, O Yahweh, for lo, thy enemies shall perish. All the works of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn shall I exhort like the horn of a unicorn. I should be anointed with fresh oil. My eye also shall see my desire on my enemies, and my ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that riseth against me. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing. To show that Yahweh is upright, he is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. The Hashem, or Mashiach Yahushai, the water of the God of none.
This is the Ten Commandments in the last one, Kodash. Repeat the Hebrew. La'ah, Yahaya, Lakah, Lahai, Ahoria, Alkonya, La'ah, Taisha, Lakah, Pasal, Wala'ah, Taibadam, La'ah, Talakotwa, Sham, Yahweh, Bashawah, Zakar, Hayawam, Hashabat, Lakudashwa, Kabad, Abaka, Wa'amaka, La'a, Rafazak, La'a, Sana'a, La'a, Saganab, La'a, Sa'aino, Shakur, La'a, Sakamad, Ko, Asra, La Ra'aika, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahweh, the water, the Miyad,
Book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1. And Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thy power which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt know the powers before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that's in heaven above, or that's in the earth beneath, or that's in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, by power, am a judge's power, visiting the iniquity of the father upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy power in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall thou labor do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land, which Yahweh thy power giveth thee. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. The water from Yad, a month.
Psalm 121 in the last one, Kodash, repeat the Hebrew. Anasa, Ayenyamya, Ao, Ahoria, Mayan, Yahweh, Isaiah, Yahweh, Mayahawa, Saisa, Shamayam, Waratata, La'a, Yanathan, Lamawat, Regalia, Yala'a, Nawam, Sasamaya, Ana, Yala'a, Nawam, Wala'a, Yasan, Sasawamar, Yasrala, Yahweh, Samaria, Yahweh, Tazalia, Al, Yamyamya, Yad, Hashamas, Yala'a, Akaya, Bayawam, Wala'a, Halabana, Bayalala, Yahweh, Yasamaria, Nicole, Rai, Yashamar, Naposya, Yahweh, Samaria, Hawalakia, Wabawahaya, Maita, Wa'ai, Aidulam, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahweh the water, the yard, Amen.
The book of Psalms, chapter 121, verse 1. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore. Bahashim Washek Yahweh, the Warat the Miad,
Lord, pray the last one Kodash, repeat the Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Balakbaka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Baharataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Katalanawa, Lakol, Kalewom, Wasalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawakinawa, Wala'a, Kabayanawa, Wanasai 1, Abo, Awashainawa, Ayan, Rai, Haya, Laka, Kamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wadapara, Lawalamya, Basham, Mashiach, Yahushai, the water, the yard, Amen.
The book of Psalms. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, and verse 9. After this manner, therefore, pray, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. For if you forgive men their trespasses, your Father will also forgive you. But if you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. By Hashem, Amashiach Yahushua, to water the yard, Amen.
Amen. Psalm 32 is the last one Kodash, repeat the Hebrew. Shaya, Amalawa, Adawad, Hana, Ma, Tawab, Wama, Nayam, Shabbat, Adyam, Gum, Yakad, Kashaman, Hatawab, Al, Hara'ash, Yarad, Al, Hazakwan, Zakwan, Aharan, Sayarad, Al, Paya, Parwatiwa, Kato, Karaman, Sayrad, Al, Araya, Sagawan, Kaya, Sham, Sazwa, Yahweh, Ah, Abraka, Kayam, Ibalam, Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahushai, the water, the yard, Amen.
The book of Psalms, chapter 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like precious ointment upon the head that went down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garment. Has the dew of Hermon, and has the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there Yahweh commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. But Hashem Washek Yahushua, the water from Yad,
Amen. Song going 50 to praise.
Praise ye the Most High. Hallelujah. Praise Yahweh in his sanctuary. Hallelujah. Praise Yahweh in the firmament of his power. Hallelujah. Praise Yahweh for his mighty acts. Hallelujah. Praise Yahweh according to his excellent greatness. Hallelujah. Praise Yahweh with the sound of the trumpet. Hallelujah. Praise Yahweh with the psaltery and harp. Hallelujah. Praise Yahweh with the timbrel and dance. Praise Yahweh with string instruments and organs. Praise Yahweh upon the loud cymbals. Praise Yahweh upon the high sounding cymbals. Let everything that hath breath praise the Most High. Praise ye Yahweh, Bahasham Mashiach Yahweh Shai, the water, the God, Amen. Hallelujah. 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 All praise, all glory be to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The water Yahweh for allowing us to have another Shabbat day, O Most High. So you continue to wake up your children, O Most High, the ones that have made a covenant by sacrifice with you, O Yahweh, Lord. The saints, O Yahweh, the ones that you have compassion and care for, O Most High. We thank you, Lord, for the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you bestow upon us, Lord. Taking us, Lord, from a Gentile state of mind, O Yahweh, Lord, to a holy state of mind, O Most High. Changing our ways and cleaning us up, O Most High, Lord, that we may be pure and as white as snow, O Yahweh. We thank you, Lord, for your love. We thank you, Lord, for everything that you have blessed us with, Lord, since the world began, O Most High. May we continue to walk in your ways. Please forgive us, Lord, for all our transgressions, our iniquities, and our sins, O Yahweh, Lord. Please, Lord, take away the reproach that we have begotten in this world, O Yahweh, Lord. Set us back in our rightful place, Lord, as a top nation in this earth. Bahasham, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, the water, the yard, Man. The Shabbat may be seated. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Peace, mercy, grace be unto the true children of Israel. As you can see in these last days, the information is becoming more prevalent in our communities. People are starting to accept who they are. If they haven't accepted it yet, they're starting to investigate, right? Because, we've been in the Christian church for so long, it's not that easy just to accept information that is contrary, right? But true to the Christian doctrine. So we see that the Most High is using, what we would call celebrities in this time to, bring out the word. Even though they might recant or they might have to step back or they might have to, clean up their words after the message has already gone forth, right? And it's going to hit the ears of the people who need to hear it. Because when that type of information starts to circulate throughout the earth, right, they can't take it back. You know what I mean? Because they say the internet is forever, right? So no matter what, they can try to scrub and delete the videos, but somewhere, some way, somehow, it can pop back up. But the information that they're deleting is still in the Bible. So what are they going to do with that? Right? Are they just going to throw all the Bibles away? They can't do that, right? So they can delete Kanye West's interview. They can delete Kyrie's post, but what are they going to do with the word? Right? What are they going to do with the word? They can't touch that. That's going to stay. That's going to be forever. So all they're doing is echoing the information that's in the book. So we see that at the end of the day, they can do all that what they're trying to do, but it's going to come to no avail, right? And if they were so righteous, right, if they were so about God, why is it that when people speak God's word, right, they're penalized for it, right? They're made to be seen as a villain of some sort. And we know what that life is like because we've been doing it on a daily basis. We know what it is to get cussed out. Now imagine if the people who was on the street cussing us out were people in power. So when our people cuss us out, it's equivalent to those in power doing what they did to Kanye and Kyrie, right? They try to harm you in such a way. Because if some of those people, if the Most High didn't have the angels encamped around us, those people who pulled out guns on us and wanted to run up on the camp and wanted to do us harm, it probably would have happened. But because the Most High allowed his angels to be encamped around us, those things didn't come to pass, right? The same way how these people are trying to penalize, Kyrie Irving and Kanye West and things of that sort, it comes to no avail because at the end of the day, what they're speaking is true, regardless of how they feel about it. All right, so today's portion is going to be Genesis chapter 23 and 1 to Genesis chapter 25, 18. Genesis chapter 23 and 1 to Genesis chapter 25 and verse 18. And always, okay, come. Yeah, no, you good, I just want to. So I just wanted to land you back a little bit what he's saying, tie it in a little bit with the scripture. Let's get Colossians 3:17 first. Because you got to understand, and I said this do not to bring it out, so the white man in these nations, the elites, they know what's going on. A lot of times we like to say, the white man that's begging us for 25 cents at the I-95 turnpike, he knows that we're the Jews. He don't know we're the Jews. But the elites of this world, they understand. They have access to these knowledge. They understand who we are, why we're in this condition, and what they got to do to keep us at this condition so they could reign supreme on this earth. They understand this. This is why this whole Kyrie Irving, the whole Dave Chappelle, Kanye West thing it's shaking the world up right now. Because the truth is coming out in a higher scale. Where these artists, these people that position our people in these positions, they're saying they don't give a damn if they kill them. They don't give a damn if they take their money. They don't care no more. Their people need the truth. These are the swelling words that people like Kanye is saying that the white man know they can't control somebody like that. If they can't control somebody like that, they got to get rid of them. But if they get rid of them, that stamp, okay, there's something he's saying that's true. It's so true that we had to kill this man. So now they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Right. Go ahead.
Colossians 3:17.
Uh-huh.
And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the other one, Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to God and the Father by him.
So let's get Matthew 24:14 first. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. Because the Yahweh Shai said it best. When this word spread out throughout the four corners of the earth, then the end shall come. Right after this Kanye West and Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, Dave Chappelle thing, right? After all that happened, what's happening right now in the world news right now? If anybody paying attention to world news, what's going on right now? What's going on with World War III right now? Regarding World War III? It's with Poland. Anybody know how World War II started? With who? Well, y'all gotta do this research. Because we know everything that's going on now already happened before. The Most High do trends with the prophecy and the events that happen on earth. Things kicked off with Poland in World War II. So, right after all these things is happening, now the Most High made Russia allegedly throw a bomb over and kill 2 people in Poland. You gotta understand, as we wake up, it's provoking the Most High. Okay, now make this happen. Now make this prophecy happen. Now make this happen. Because we're doing what he needs us to do. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14.
Right.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world.
Preach around all the what?
In all the world.
All the world. When the Most High is telling us all the world, is he literally talking about the literal whole planet Earth? Hold that. Give me Isaiah 45 and 17. Because the white man and the Chinese, they don't need to know who we are for prophecy to happen. They don't need to know that we went into slavery because of our disobedience to the Most High God. We don't need to know this. We need to know this. The gospel got to go through the Israelites scattered abroad. Go ahead.
Isaiah 45 verse 17. But Israel.
But who?
But Israel.
But Israel, read.
Shall be saved. In the Most High. With an everlasting salvation.
Read.
Ye shall not be ashamed.
Read.
Nor confounded world without end.
What did he say?
Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded world without end.
So Israel's that world without end. This word got to be spread out to. Israel's the one that needs this word. Because when we get this word, we get this knowledge, they understand what happens next. Go back where you was at in Matthew 24.
Matthew chapter 24 verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
Unto all nations. Read.
And then
what?
Shall the end come.
And then the end shall come. That's what the scriptures tell us. Once we understand who we are, we understand what we did against the Most High, we understand our offenses, then the end shall come. Now the Most High is going to bring that destruction. Now we're going to get the kingdom of heaven. But what got to happen first? We have to understand who we are. People like these little children, they probably not going to listen to us, but they know Kanye West. And they're going to hear that Kanye West and Kyrie Irving said, we are the Jews, we the chosen people. We're Shem. They're going to pay attention to that. It's going to be us all we need. Because the Most High didn't say they would understand Deuteronomy 28. He didn't say they're going to understand that the Jews and the Gentiles break down. He just said this word got to go out. You and Israelites repent and keep the commandments. That's the only thing that's needed. And that person is up to them what they do with it after that. That's what's required before the destruction comes. Let's get Revelations 11, because I touched it lightly. On Tuesday, we're going to touch it a little bit, and we're going to go right into the portion. Revelation chapter 11. And what we're also going to do, we're also going to share the screen for those that's on the live as well. I want you to start from Revelation chapter 11, verse 8.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
So the Most High God said their dead bodies should lie in the streets, right? Whose bodies is on the line in the streets of this great city? Whose bodies is it? Now, those of you that haven't gotten a Revelations breakdown, this is the first time to ask questions, get your mind working, because this is going to help you when you read other chapters in Revelation. All right? Because I can honestly say we don't touch Revelations like that. You know, unless somebody asks a question on it. I'm pretty sure there should be more hands up, especially those that's in the camp. Now, I know you don't know yet. So who's the dead bodies that should lie in the great city? Read that verse again.
Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
Of the great city, which
spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
All right. So what's the city that spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt? Where's that city at? What city is this? It's America, right? So it's America that the Most High is talking about. So whose dead bodies should lie in the streets of America? The 12 tribes of Israel, right? Let's get Ephesians 2 and 5 real quick. Ephesians 2 and 5. Because right now, you know, before we came into truth, we the dead bodies that lie in the streets of America. These people right there, they don't understand who they are. They're dead bodies in the streets of America. Let's get Ephesians 2 and 5 real quick. Let's get understanding of what he's talking about when he says dead bodies.
The book of Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 5.
Everybody in Ephesians 2 and 5? All right, go ahead.
Even when we were dead in sin.
What?
Even when we were dead in sin, hath quickened us together.
When it says quicken, it means to bring us back to life. When we came into the truth, the Most High made us finally live. We're finally living according to the standards of the Most High God. So when we sin, we're dead in the eyes of the Most High God. Because right now, the majority of our people, they're dead in the streets of America, eating all types of unclean things, serving idols, diverse lusts, all types of wickedness. They're dead in the eyes of the Most High. So we would be like in a dead-like condition in the streets of America. Go back to you with that in Revelation.
Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Because America has the qualities of Sodom, all types of fornication, and Egypt because the children of Israel is in slavery in America. Go ahead.
Where also our Lord was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies.
So everybody under the sun, they've seen the conditions of our people, right? Let's name some of the nations that knew we was in slavery, right? Wasn't a white man a nation when we was in slavery? Who else was a nation? Who else had power as a country of people when we was in slavery? The Arabs. Who else? Elam, the East Indians. Who else? The Romans. I don't think the Romans was there on that time. Who else had power during that time? These are things that you have to know. So when a lot of our people, they come to universities. So you can't speak something lightly. They might actually go into detail in what you're talking about. So who else was a power? The French was a major power. The British was a major power. The Spanish was a major power during that time. Who else? Portugal was a major power. Didn't all these nations see us in slavery in America? They seen our ancestors in slavery. How come nobody came and saved them? Our people look for Egypt as the Egyptians and the pharaohs, right? Where was the Egyptians sending kayaks and boats over here to come? So every nation has seen the condition of our people when we was in the dead condition. Nobody said, you were in this condition because you broke God's commandments. You're in this condition because you disobeyed the Most High God. No, we're going to come over and take you Israelites out and bring you back home. Nobody did that for our people. Let's go continue reading.
verse 9. Day of people and kindred
their dead bodies for
3 days.
For what? 3 days, read.
And a half.
And a half. Give me 1 Corinthians 12 and 27. So it said that they shall see our bodies dead for 3 days and a half. What does that 3 days and a half mean? What are 3 days and a half mean? What does those 3 days and a half supposed to represent? For those of us who read the book of Jonah, you should be able to make that connection with the gospel. If you're able to make that connection with the gospel, you should be able to make the connection with this, what's going on right here. What's this 3 days and a half? What's this supposed to represent? It's like you thinking, what's the 3 days supposed to represent? Yes, that's what I mean. It has to do with the years in time. What time? Not necessarily. Okay, I'll give you this way. Why was Jonah in the well for 3 days? What was it to represent? Okay. Yahweh shot 3 days in the grave. What's that supposed to represent? You also represent Jonah, but what else is supposed to represent? It represents something else. Let's get 1 Corinthians 12 and 27.
The book of 1
Right? We are the body of a Mashiach. Everything that happened to a Mashiach's body is supposed to be in like comparison with what happened to our people. Yahweh was beaten, shamed, belittled, disrespected, not acknowledged as the prince and the son of the Most High God. Just like we was beaten, lynched, disrespected, and not acknowledged as the sons of the Most High God. Because we are the body of a Mashiach, Yahweh. That's why do you think Yahweh says the servant is not greater than the master? Why do you think he said that? We're going to go through the same thing he went through. We're going to understand how he felt when he was on the earth. Go ahead and read that.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 27. Now ye are the body of Christ.
We are the body of what?
The body of Christ. And members in particular.
And members in particular. So when Yahweh was in the ground for 3 days, was he alive or was he dead? He was dead. Did Revelation say we would be dead for like 3 days and a half? For 3 days and a half, we'll be in the same condition. But we know we'll be in this condition as in a sense, like we'll be living like these guys right? Not understanding today's Sabbath. Not understanding how we're supposed to operate upon the face of the earth. We'll be like that for about 3 days and a half. Go back to that in Revelation.
Revelation 11 and verse 9. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
And not suffer our bodies to be what?
Put in graves.
So nobody cares to try to fix our people, understand what's going on with us, nothing. They just left us out to go out and go shoot each other, kill each other, drug out each other, because this has to do with why the police are so mad at Kyrie Irving and Kanye West. It's to make sure everybody's following on why we're going through this understanding. Because they understand something's supposed to happen after this. Go ahead, read.
And shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another. Because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
Read.
And after 3 days.
What did he say?
And after 3 days.
After 3 days. All right, read.
And a half.
Read.
The spirit of life.
The spirit of
life from God entered into them.
Entered into who?
Entered into them.
So what's the spirit of the life of God that entered into our people? That would enter into our people. Yes. It's the other nations rejoicing over it. All right, it's all good. It's them rejoicing over it. Look at them niggas. Shooting and killing each other. Look at them niggas. Leaving their women behind with their children. So what's the spirit of the Most High that came into us? What's the spirit of life? We know what life is. What causes us to live? What's the spirit? Psalm 663, the word of the Most High God. Isn't that what came into you while you were here? Go ahead.
And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them.
And entered them in what?
And they stood upon their feet.
They did what?
And they stood upon their feet.
This is the same thing that's been prophesied in Ezekiel 37. It's the same thing. Read.
And great fear.
Wait, what happened?
And great fear fell upon them which saw them.
So before the Spirit of life entered into us, everything was good in the hood. Right? When Kanye was saying, wait till I get my money right? Everything was good. But when the Spirit of life entered into the brother, and he said, I am a Shemite. I'm going to con 4, selection. Now, they're mourning. Right? Before, my brother was Chico. Now he's captain of HUD, making the nation bow down every weekend. And now it's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? Let's get Hosea 6:1. Because it shows you they understand something we don't understand. Our people don't give the nations enough credit. If they didn't understand prophecy, they would have never fought a northern kingdom over here. Because they read Ezra to find out they were over here. There was land and people over here. If they don't understand prophecy, why do you think they exploit the so-called Mexican man? The scriptures say that you do have burdens on their shoulders. If they didn't understand prophecy, why do you think they don't want Haitians over here? Because they know the Haitians are known to buck up against us masters. Even though they're going to go for wickedness and witchcraft, they're going to buck up against the white man and cause everybody else to buck up. Why do you think they keep them locked up in Haiti? They understand scripture to a degree. It's just their pride won't let them see they will not win in the end. Right. That's the only thing. Their pride won't let them see they're going to lose. Go ahead.
The book of Hosea, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Right, if anybody don't have this, you can use Hosea 6:1 to precept what Revelation 11. Because it's talking about the same 3 days. Go ahead, Hosea 6:1.
Come, and let us return unto Yahweh.
Let us what?
Let us return unto Yahweh.
So one day we're going to come to our mind and let us return back unto the Most High God. All right? Let's stop being wicked. Go ahead.
For he hath torn.
He hath what?
He hath torn.
He gave us the curses in Deuteronomy. Read.
And he will heal us.
And he will heal us. He will bring us back to who we are. Read.
He hath smitten. And he will bind us up.
Read.
After 2 days.
After 2 days. Read.
Will he revive us. In the 3rd day.
In the what?
In the 3rd.
Remember, it says after 3 days and a half, right? Within that 3rd day, it's not going to go through 4 days. Read.
He will raise us up.
He will raise us up. So 3rd days is 0 to 1,000, 1,000 to 2,000, 2,000 going off to 3,000. So we're 22 years into this 3rd day.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? We're 22, like not 22 days, 22 years within the 3rd day. So, but the scripture says, continue reading.
And we shall live in his sight.
Within this 3rd day, we're going to be living in the sight of the Most High. What does that mean? Because right now, isn't the Most High above and we're below? We should be living in his sight, technically. So what is he saying when he said we would live in his sight? Where's the sight of the Most High at? What does he look at continuously? The land of Israel. Deuteronomy 11 and 12. That's a precept. That we would live in his sight. That means before the year 3000, because the Most High have time to keep his promise. That's why it's so imperative we stop being niggas in this truth. We got to stop being more honorable serving the Most High. Because the Most High really could stretch it to the year 2999 and still be in his promise. He really could do that. He could keep it all the way to the year 2700 and then keep his promise. So within that 3rd day is when we'll be living in the sun. We'll be back home. We'll be back to being the nation of Israel, the power, the never-ending power on the earth again. They understand that. That's why they're going to mourn. Because when we wake up, they lose. Let's go back to Revelation 11.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 12. And I heard a great voice from heaven saying.
So this is after we woke up and we stood up on our feet. So this is me to make sure everybody understands chronological order of prophecy. After the Israelites wake up, we repent and keep the commandments. What's supposed to happen next? What's supposed to happen next? No. You got to be more specific. What do you mean by that? That's too vague. More specific. And do what? And save them. They understand it. Let's continue reading. We're going to read it right here.
Verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them.
Great voice from heaven saying unto them. Read.
Come up hither.
Come up where?
Come up hither.
Where are they going up to? After they wake up, they were dead for a long time. They're going to hear a voice say, come up hither. Where are they going? They're going into the chariots. Isn't that where we're supposed to be going? They're going to go into the chariots. Read.
And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud.
And they what?
In a cloud.
Read.
And their enemies beheld them.
So that's what's supposed to happen. They understand that. As soon as these people wake up, they were supposed to have a quote-unquote alien invasion. Quote-unquote. Independence Day is supposed to happen. The real Independence Day. Right? And these people are going to go up. Read.
And the same hour was there a great earthquake.
So after they go up in the chariots, after we go in the chariots, what's supposed to happen next? Let's read.
And the 10th part of the city.
So it says the same hour was a great earthquake. Read.
And the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were affright and gave glory to the God of heaven.
So what's that speaking about? So I just give the answer. But we always say we're not a church. Huh? We always say, we say we're not a church, right? What do we say this is? This is what? This is school. So in school, you got to get questioned on what you believe. If you can't protect something or defend something, you don't know. So what is it? What is this earthquake? This great earthquake? What is it? What is it? Let's get Revelation 13. You said thermonuclear? Why do you say thermonuclear? God, all praise. It's supposed to be thermonuclear destruction. So in the same hour when we're delivered, what's supposed to become clear as we get delivered? The chariots is what's coming to America. The arrows, the missiles, the ICBM missiles. They come over as we go up. Read. And in the same hour was there a great earthquake. The 10th part of the city fell. What is the 10th part of the city? What is that supposed to represent? I know y'all gonna want to bring it out, so we bring it out. What is the 10th part supposed to represent? Second Ezra 14 and 10. Lie. It's supposed to represent America. What about America? You're right, it is America, the 10th part. But what is it supposed to represent? No. America. Those that's on the YouTube should be able to see it, what I got posted up. It's supposed to represent the 10 FEMA zones in America. America is divided in 10 FEMA zones. That means complete destruction in America. When you go on the YouTube, you see the map of it right now, what I got right now. On the YouTube, you should be able to see it. Go ahead and let's continue reading Revelation.
The book of Revelation 6 and 13.
Go back to you that 11.
The book of Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. The second war was past.
That's it. That was it. Yeah. So it's supposed to be complete destruction, right? The earthquake was represent those bombs hitting. But when those bombs hit, what is it called? Shaking and quaking. When it says the 10th part of the city was destroyed, the 10th was on. When it says 7,000 men, what is the number 7 supposed to represent? That means complete annihilation of every living thing in this country. And when it says the remnant was afraid and gave glory, it's remnant. Huh? No. They're destroyed in America. They're supposed to represent the 1/3 and the elect. They were afraid. So when you see a destruction like that, you're not going to be all happy and making love in the chariot. You're going to be scared. And they're going to give glory to the Most High God. Go ahead and read Revelation 6 and 13.
The book of Revelation chapter 6 and verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell onto the earth.
Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. So that's also tuned in YouTube. Go ahead.
And the stars of heaven fell onto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely fig, when she is shaken with a mighty wind.
This is what's going to cause the earthquake. This is what's going to cause 10 parts of the city to be destroyed. Go ahead.
And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together.
So these things are going to come down. This is the stars of heaven fell on the earth. Did anybody see when the Iranians were throwing those missiles at the Israelis? How it looked? You seen this video, right? How did it look on the video? It looked like stars falling down. This is what John the Revelator sees, comparing it as best as he can. So go ahead.
And the heaven departed as a scroll.
So when the bombs hit in the cartoons, how does it look in smoke goes on? Like a scroll departed. Read.
When it is rolled together, and every mountain,
and every what?
Every mountain and island were moved out of their place.
And every mountain, everything was moved out of their place. The nations, they understand all of this is going to happen after what? That's the key part of what we're going on right now. After we wake up, that's when these things happen. So it's imperative that we do what we wake up. That more brothers like Kyrie and Kanye continue standing up for the people and telling our people, yo, we the Jews, we need to repent and keep his commandments. We got to go harder. Because this is what's going to happen, and they understand that. So there's one more major prophecy that got to take place in America before we leave here. One more. And after that, we go home. But it has not come to pass yet. The Most High is showing, but it didn't come to pass yet. So let's go right into the poem. Yeah, okay. Whatever. So today's portion is Genesis chapter 23 to Genesis chapter 25 and 18. I'm following correctly, right? So what happened in the last portion that we went over? Sodom and Gomorrah got restored. What else happened? All right. So not you. You ask somebody else. What's going on in Sodom and Gomorrah? And what else? A lot of times we just say homosexuality, fornication, right? So what are some examples of physical fornication that's described in the Bible? That's not fornication. Because intercourse constitutes and seals a marriage. The ceremonial part and everything else, that's something that's customary that we did as a people. But that's not sex without marriage. That's not found in Scripture. If you have intercourse with a woman, that will be considered marriage according to the Bible. For an example, a lot of our people do gainsay and say, "What if somebody rapes a woman?" That would not be marriage because according to the Bible, that person should be dead already. So that wouldn't be a marriage. But that wouldn't be fornication. So what else is fornication? Bestiality is fornication. I just he said unlawful sexual act. What is the unlawful sexual act? Incest. That's fornication. Well, that's fornication. Homosexuality, incest. What else? Just spiritual fornication. Come on, we got the priests and prophets in the building. You guys don't know what fornication is? We got to go back to Hebrew elementary. What else is fornication? Bestiality is fornication as well. What else? Adultery is fornication. Some of these days are perfect examples of what fornication is. So these days were going rampant in Sodom and Gomorrah. So what else happened in the last portion? What else happened in the last portion? Why would she turn to a pillar of salt? What was that supposed to represent, her turning back? Right. Because was there anything righteous going on there? So, that lets you know she was desiring what? Wickedness. So what else? What else is going on in the last portion? What we gotta do, we gotta work on having set questions for the next portion. We're gonna work on having set questions. So let's go to Genesis chapter 23.
The book of Genesis, 23 and verse 1. And Sarah was 107 and 20 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kirjath Arba. The same is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah.
He came to what?
Mourn for Sarah.
Right.
And to weep for her.
Right.
And Abraham stood up from before his dead.
Now, according to the scriptures, what happens when somebody dies? Yeah. The spirit goes back into the Most High anyway. What's the judgment? Okay, so what happens next? And the spirit goes back where? Okay, then what happens? Okay, what happens to the body of that person? Goes back to dust. Let's get Sirach 22 and verse 11. Go ahead, brother. Your judgment is everything you did upon the face of the earth, whether it was good or evil. Okay, so you talking about with hell? Okay, so you need understanding on reincarnation? Sure. So would you like us to go touch on it? Okay, so let's get it. Let's get Ecclesiastes 12 and 7.
Here's the book of the dust, return to the earth.
So then the dust shall return to the earth. What is the dust returning back to the earth? It's your physical body, right? Your physical body goes back into the ground and what?
As it was.
Right.
And the spirit.
And the what?
And the spirit.
And the who?
And the spirit.
And the spirit leads.
Shall return unto God.
Remember, it didn't just clarify if it's a wicked spirit or a righteous spirit. All spirits in general go back up to the Most High. Read.
Return unto God who gave it.
Who gave it? Read.
Vanities of vanities.
Jump up to verse 14.
Verse 14. For God shall bring every work into judgment.
When that spirit goes up to the Most High, He's going to bring every work. Your work is not in your spiritual vessel, it's in your physical vessel on earth. Read.
For God shall bring every work into judgment.
Into what?
Into judgment.
Into who?
Into judgment.
He's going to count, okay, you did this right, you did that wrong. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why didn't you apply this commandment? Why did you do this? All of that's going to be discussed when your spirit go back up. Read.
When every secret thing, whether it be good,
rather be good or rather be what?
Or whether it be evil.
So He's going to judge your good works and He's going to judge your bad works. But when your spirit goes back up to Him. Read.
Listen.
That's it. Let me get Matthew 17 and 12. This one will clarify a lot. Because one of our biggest examples of reincarnation is what Christ said about John the Baptist. And one of our biggest examples. And then we're going to give you another famous brother in the scriptures that was prophesied to have to come back again.
The book of Matthew, chapter 17 and verse 12. But I say unto you.
Is everybody at Matthew 17 verse 12?
That Elijah is come already.
Wait, you said what?
That Elijah is come already.
Read.
And they knew him not.
And they knew him what?
And they knew him not.
So they said the prophet Elijah came already. And they didn't know who he was. Read.
But have done unto him whatsoever they listed.
So stop. Let's get Malachi, the 4th chapter, let's get the last 2 verses. Because in the Old Testament, remember, in the last, this is not the last book in the Old Testament, but in the last book in the Old Testament, in your Bible, it says that it prophesied Elijah was supposed to come back again. Right? It's prophesied that. We know the Most High don't lie, son. We know his word doesn't go back void. It doesn't. It's gonna happen. You in hell and you stay. Let's go ahead and read.
Malachi chapter 4 and verse 4. Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I command unto him in error for all Israel, with statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet.
The what?
Elijah the prophet.
Who?
Elijah the prophet.
This is the same Elijah from what we read about in Kings. Read.
Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord.
Because according to the scriptures, who was older? Elijah or Christ? Who was born first? Elijah was born first. I mean, so like it. John, I already know the answer, so sorry. John the Baptist was born before Christ. He's older than Christ. So technically, he did come first. Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children.
So he will prepare the way and get everybody to come back to the Most High God and get the children right for the Most High. So let's go right back to where we was at in Matthew 17. Let's see what Christ has to say about this.
17 and verse, you want me to start at verse 10?
Yeah.
Start at Matthew 17 verse 10. And his disciples asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elijah must first come?
Read. And
Yahushua answered and said unto them,
what did he say unto them?
Elijah truly shall come first and restore all things.
He'll get in water, prepare the way, read.
But I say unto you.
What did he say?
But I say unto you.
No, Christ don't lie. Read.
That Elijah is come already.
He already came. Read.
And they knew him not.
And they didn't know who he was. Read.
But have done unto him whatsoever they listed.
Read.
Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer them.
Read.
Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist.
So who was Elijah in the past life? Because Christ said he came, and then the apostles understood, okay, he's talking about John the Baptist. That's what Elijah was in the past life. So this is a perfect example of reincarnation in the Bible right here. What's that saying? Okay, let's go ahead and get this. 17.
17, you can start at 10 to 12.
Done.
14:35 says. The book of Matthew, the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 14 and verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come. When shall we shall live.
We're going to live the spirit, but the move vessel. Go ahead. People not going to get people not to church. Come, let me get John 9 and 2 as well. Now the precepts coming out. Now we in class. Now we in class. Now we in the spirit. Go ahead.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 9, verse 27. And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment.
After this, the what?
The judgment.
So after you die in your vessel, there's the judgment. So that goes back into you getting judged up there. Let's get John. I believe you said John 9 and 2, right? John 9 and 2. You gotta go ahead and read it.
The book of John, chapter 9, verse 2. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents?
Start from verse 1.
The book of John, chapter 9, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahushua passed by, and as Yahushua passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth.
So you see somebody who was born blind. Pay attention to what the disciple was going to ask. Read.
And the disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin?
Who sinned? Read.
This man?
Was it him? Why would they ask, was it him? He was born blind. What could he have done? Yeah. So they understood, was it him? Did he do something in the past life you thought he got away from? Or was it who?
Or
was it his parents that did this of reincarnation? We had the idea of that. Because you got to remember, if there's no reincarnation, that means the Most High God is making new souls and new spirits every day. All right? And we already know, give me Genesis chapter 2, I believe it's 2 and 1. The scriptures already let us know the Most High stopped his work on the way. Let's read it.
Okay. The book of Genesis, chapter 2, and verse 2. And on the seventh day, God ended his work.
He ended his what?
He ended his work.
That includes new spirits and new souls. All of that was done. New souls being created, etc. The Most High is still working right now. It makes sense. So what is the Most High doing while he's Give me Psalms 109. This is going to explain it all, and then I think you should have clarification. I believe 109 and 24, if I remember correctly. 104 or 29, select it.
Psalm 104 and verse 29.
Correct.
Thou hidest thy face, they are troubled. Thou takest away their breath.
Thou takest away their what?
Their breath.
Their breath, the breath of life. Read.
They die.
They die. Read.
And return to their dust.
And we go back into the ground. It's the same reincarnation to us here. Read.
Thou sendest forth thy spirit.
After we die, our spirit goes up. Then the scripture says, thou send your spirit. The Most High going to send that spirit out. Read.
They are created.
They are what?
They are created.
They are created. They're born again. Read.
And thou renewest.
And he do what?
And thou renewest the face of the earth.
And he refreshes the faces on the earth. That's how it works. We die, the spirit goes up. He send that spirit, and then everything is recycled again. No different than the rain cycle. That's how our spirit works. But does that give a little more understanding to you?
I would have to
Some advice to that is, before you try to explain to anybody else, learn for yourself and grab a solid foundation. Because they could ask you something so simple, but you probably just haven't heard it yet. And then it'd be crazy. We probably go over that the next portion. And then you're like, dang, I wish I'd have been able. So sometimes before you engage into those conversations, you want to make sure you got that solid foundation first. So first give yourself some time, but keep it simple. I'm learning I'm an Israelite and I'm learning to follow God's law. Keep it at that. Anything else they want to talk about, I'm just learning God's law right now. Because their mission is to try to trip you up, try to confuse you. Because now they go to asking you questions you don't know how to answer. Now you probably second guessing. Yeah, you saying you're not gonna go back, but you don't never ask you a question that really gets you. So to keep yourself from that, just and then you can bring that question to us, and then you can probably go back and answer that question. But if it's something you don't know, they might trip you up. Because I've seen this happen a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? People get tripped up trying to go too fast. I was one of them. Because when you learn this information, you filled up with a zeal. You want to tell everybody. Then they ask stuff, you like, I don't really know, right? You know what I'm saying? Now you're thinking like, gee, probably I don't know what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? Now it's some confusion. So just kind of just get your foundation down pat, and then because this regeneration, reincarnation, that's what the scriptures call me. Right? That's something that you get into once you understand the foundations, the milk of the scriptures. So trying to have this conversation right now is not going to be beneficial to you because it's gonna be too hard. But once you kind of get your foot in, then you'll be able to, just like Cat was bringing out the precepts easy, you'll be able to explain to them what was that, about 5 minutes? You see what I'm saying? So that's how the scriptures is. The Most High is not going to just give you all the information at once. That's why even though we teach the Torah portion, even 30 years from now, we're going to find out something new within Genesis, even though we done read Genesis 29 times. That's just how the Most High works, man. That's just how he works. Because sometimes if you got too much wisdom, you get puffed up. You know what I'm saying? So don't think it's nothing that you don't know right now. Just be glad that the Most High is giving you the milk, and you know that that's what you grow by. You grow by the milk. You feel me? You don't grow by the meat. You grow by the milk. So focus on that. You know what I'm saying? Just my advice. Because I don't want you to get tripped up in something that is too tough. All right, we'll go back to the point.
Go back.
I believe it's in my trunk, I believe. Or
The book of Genesis, chapter 23 and verse 3. And Abraham stood up from before his dead and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I might bury my dead out of my sight.
So Abraham is asking the Canaanites, right? The children of Heth, which are Canaanites, right? You know, a burial place like a bury Sarah. So let's see how he deals with them, because this teaches fundamental wisdom and how to deal with the nation. So remember, Abraham knows he's the man. Yeah. He's the only man the Most High is dealing with on earth. He knows that. He got the wealth, he got the power, he got the covenant. Just like no different than us. We have the power, the Most High. We have the covenant, we have the laws. We are the only people that the Most High know. We are the men and women of the earth. Yeah. All right, read.
I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I might bury my dead out of my sight. And the children of Heth answered Abraham, saying unto him, Hear us, my Lord. Thou art a mighty prince among us. In the choice of our sepulchres, bury thy dead. None of us shall withhold from thee his sepulchre, but that thou mayest bury thy dead. And Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth.
So why did Abraham just decide to take it? Right? He didn't just take it off rip. Because what do we know about the heathens? They're known for doing what when they give you something for free? They want something back or what? They feel like they got something over you, or they feel like they made you. No different than why Abraham didn't take the money and all that stuff when he got locked down. Right. He understands this, and a lot of people don't understand this. Because when the white man gives our people things like record deals and stuff like that, what does that make you feel? It makes you feel like they own you. Let's see how Abraham deal with it.
Verse 7. And Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth. And he communed with them, saying, If it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me, and entreat for me to Ephron the son of the whore, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he hath, which is in the end of his field. For as much money as it is worth, he shall give it me for a possession.
So Abraham didn't want to just get it, he wanted to purchase it and buy it. Because if he buy it, that means he do whatever the hell he want to do it, and he's the sole possessor of it. Nobody can tell him nothing.
Of a burying place amongst you. And Ephron dwelt among the children of Heth. And Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the audience of the children of Heth, even of all that went in at the gate of his city, saying, Nay, my Lord, hear me. The field I give thee, and the cave that is therein, I give it thee. In the presence of the sons of my people I give it thee. Bury thy dead.
Right.
And Abraham bowed down himself before the people of the land. And he spake unto Ephron the audience of the people of the land, saying, But if thou wilt give it, I pray thee, hear me. I will give thee money for the field. Take it of me, and I will bury my dead there.
So Abraham still doesn't want to get it for free. Give me Matthew 10 and 16. Because you got to deal with wisdom. Remember, the heathens are here for who? Who do they here for? What is the heathen's purpose? Why did the Most High create the nation? To serve who's the righteous? Us. To serve us. Right? Anybody who owns something, you know how to put it in the right order and right position where it benefits. Right? When we're doing something with the heathen and when we're working with the heathens, one, Abraham shows us he understands how they work. He understands that if he just takes it, they're going to say that they're the one who gave it to him, not the Most High. He understands if he takes it, they're going to feel like they have something over him, or they're going to want something in the end. He understands the intent. Because he understands that, he said, you know what, I'm just going to buy it. Because that cuts them off from even having some preeminence or authority over him. No different than us, because we know that the so-called Caucasian man is the devil the Bible speaks of. Are we going to put him in a position where he could do us any type of ill intent or harm? No, we already understand his intent. We already understand how he operates. Because we know how the nations do business, are we going to put them in a position to take $5,000 from us or cause a big hit to our company? No, we understand how they operate. We understand how they work. Go ahead and read that for me.
Go on. The book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 6.
10 and 16.
10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents.
You got to be wise as a serpent, really.
And harmless as doves.
Because Abraham is perfectly demonstrating that. How to be harmless as a dove, because he can't just distract them. He can't tell them, do you know who I am? Thus saith Yahweh, I'm Abraham, son of Terah. He can't say something like that. Right. But Abraham dealt with humility and he dealt with wisdom, how he was dealing with the heathen. That's how we got to deal with them. We're going to see the end result of how Abraham dealt with them when he got at the end of it. Let's go right back.
The book of Genesis, chapter 23 and verse 14. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, My Lord, hearken unto me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that betwixt me and thee?
He said, I ain't nothing for me and you. You can just have it. He's still trying to sweet up Abraham. Really?
Bury therefore thy dead. And Abraham hearkened unto Ephron. And Abraham weighed to Ephron the silver which he as the scriptures say, use wisdom, but always remember that you have to have something holding them to the fire also. Right? Because they'll try to scurry their way out of it, man. Right? They try to scurry their way out of it. A lot of people complain about, when they pay these lawyers, because the lawyers, they promise you everything. They tell you everything. But the way the contracts are set up, they really don't have to guarantee you anything. So it's really like, if they do it, they good. If they don't do it, they still good because they still get paid. And that's just the way that these contracts are set up here in America. And that's why you never really get justice. Because there's really no truth to anything that is written down in their quote-unquote law. There's always loopholes with everything. Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 1.
Read.
And Abraham was old and well stricken in age. When Yahweh blessed Abraham in all things.
Right.
When Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house, that ruled over all that he had,
right.
Put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and I will make thee swear by the name of the power of heaven, and the power of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell. But thou shalt go unto my country, and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac.
So now we see that Abraham, right, is preparing for Isaac to get a wife. But he's telling his servant, don't go and take a wife from the women round about, right, from the Canaanites. Go back to the country of my nativity and go get a woman from there. Now let's see why he's giving his servant this instruction. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. All right, let me get Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. Because we see that coming into this truth, the nations, right, are starting to separate themselves, right? It's starting to go back to, every nation going back to their border, being with their people. Everybody's starting to cleave unto their own. It's the same thing that's going to start to happen even in this world amongst our own people. You're going to have some people who's dealing with the truth. You're going to have some people who's not dealing with the truth. And then that separation is going to continue to grow and grow and grow and grow. Because you have to make a choice sooner or later. Because everything that's coming out of these scriptures, everything that's being said, everything that's being echoed, it's being established by the Most High. We're just a mouthpiece. We can sound smart, we can sound eloquent, we can have precepts, we can have breakdowns, but we got it from one source. It's from the Most High. So we really don't get no credit in the end. But it's going to accomplish what it's going to accomplish. The word is going to do what it's going to do, right? It's sharper than any two-edged sword. It's going to cleave something. It's just the way the word works. It's nothing we can do. Stop. We can't try to preach the word and try to keep everything and everyone together. It doesn't work that way, right? Let's read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 1. When Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land, whither thou goest to possess it,
right,
and hast cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites,
right,
and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites,
right,
and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when Yahweh thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
Right.
Thou shalt not make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
It say what?
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
It say not to make marriages, right, with these people, right, or any other nation of that matter. Because let's see why. Read.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Right, read.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
But they will do what?
Turn away thy son from following me.
So if he was to go and get a Canaanite woman, right, we know that when it comes to the indigenous African people, they worship many gods, right? So if a son of Israel, right, or if Isaac didn't get turned away to what's the sun god, Ra, or whatever, right? They would have got turned to another one. And the alligator god, and the fish god, and the hippo god, right? It would have been many different ways that he could have done, yeah, you know what, I don't mess with those other gods, but I think I like that one there, right? It would have been a never-ending plethora of gods that could have turned away his heart. So we see here, when you get into, they use the term get into bed, right, with these other nations, you start to have, let's say, like you start to have a chance of you getting turned away from the Most High God. And of course, that's your destruction, right? So, go ahead.
It's like this, for example, Passover. What is Passover about? What is Passover about? If nobody don't have the answer to this, is a problem, big problem already. What's the Passover about? And did what to the Egyptians? Now, if your wife is an Egyptian, right, could you really keep the Passover? Why? Because the wife of your 4 children that you love, the woman that you love, you're celebrating the death and destruction of her people. Right. Are you consciously going to be able to keep the Passover and serve the Most High? No. For example, if you were so-called indigenous Hamite, a white man or woman, or Asian, right? You can't play both sides of the field. You're either going to prosper for your people or their people. Because both of you can't be on the top. You're going to have to choose one person to be on the top. Right. Your nation or their nation. And that's confusion already. Right. You understand what I mean? The Most High doesn't deal with confusion. You're either with one or the other. You can't be both sides of the Most High God. Right. And that's something throughout the scriptures. Go ahead. Right. That shows that there's a deep subconscious of hate for your own people. Because for you to be a Native American and you're with a white man who came and raped, robbed, destroyed your people, beat down your king Amashad Yahweh, and curse your God Yahweh throughout the year, and still want to be with these people, there's something wrong with the spirit. Because that should click to you. If they're against your God and against your king, they're against you at the end of the day. Just fulfilling some type of lust in your spirit. So.
Read verse 3 and verse 4 again.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. But they will turn away thy son from following me, right, that they may serve other powers. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you, right, and destroy thee suddenly.
Now, exactly. As soon as you start to serve the other gods, the anger is going to be kindled against you, right? Against that Israelite woman or that Israelite man. So to avoid that, right, you stay with your people. Now, it could be the same thing. If you're with an Israelite woman, but she deep in the Christianity church, and she carry you over there to serve Caesar Borgia, you still in the same boat. You still in the same boat, right? But nonetheless, marrying another nation, that's all. Even if they say, yeah, you know, I'm down with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You still can't deal with them, right? But even with dealing with your own people, you still have to also make sure that their mind is on Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. Because it's tough. Brothers and sisters can speak from experience. Trying to be with somebody else in this truth who's not in this truth can prove to be tough, right? Not saying you write them off altogether, but more than likely, it's probably going to cause some confusion because they're going to want to deal with things that have to do with other gods. Yeah. Right? King Solomon, right? And one thing about King Solomon is, I don't care what dude you think you is today, you're never going to be richer than King Solomon, right? And I don't care how many women you say you have, right? Or I slept with 10,000 women. It don't matter to me. When it comes to Solomon, Solomon had women of status who was beautiful, right? Nobody here ain't deal with no princess. Who had a princess in their life? Anybody had the daughter of a Dubai king? I don't know. I don't see brothers rocking like that, right? Solomon was racking up princesses, man. Women of high authority, man. Women coming from rich households. We ain't rocking like that, man. Right? We not rocking like that. And with all his wisdom, those women, man, they get you. They'll get you. Right? They probably was holding small councils. Listen, we got to get him to start building up these other things, man. And you know when a woman wants something, she persistent. You think they asked them one time to build an altar to their God? No. Right? 50, 60, 70 times, man. Right? And then look, hold it. So you ain't got as much wisdom as Solomon. You ain't got as much money as Solomon. And you ain't dealt with the caliber of woman that Solomon dealt with. And he still got God. Who are you? Right? Who are you? The two strongest men, they fell by what? A woman. Right. Solomon, mentally strong. Samson, physically strong. It didn't matter. Because when it comes to that woman, and she asking you 10,000 times for something, you probably going to fold. Right? Especially if you love her to death, man. So the Most High said, don't deal with that. Because guess what? When you deal with a righteous woman, you deal with a woman of the Most High, what now you gotta worry about is staying on your P's and Q's. Because she gonna check you when you go off. Best believe that. She gonna get you. You always bringing out scriptures when you at camp, but y'all can see I'm trying to follow from experience, right? Right? You bringing out scriptures for at camp, right? But you doing this, right? And then you cut. So now you gotta stay on, man. And that's what's good because the Most High wants to see that, man. Because everything's gonna stay in order. Proverbs 5:15 is that's good. Proverbs 5 verse 6. Come, you get that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 15. Drink waters out of thine own cistern,
right?
And running waters out of thine own well.
Deal with your own, man. Deal with your own. It doesn't make no sense going to get an Edomite woman and then you complain about her cooking. You know that already, right? You want to go and get a Moabite woman and then your son come out and he looks like Jackson, right? So that you don't want to have to deal with that thing, man. We want to keep our features. We want our kinky hair, right? We want our beard. Right? We want everything about us, man, to stay the same, man. We want our features, we want our genetics, we want everything to stay the same, man. Don't go around and mix it up and have to get deal with Krishna and Buddha in your household, man, right? Because now they want you to rub the belly and stuff like that.
That doesn't take away the fact they're going to slavery.
Exactly.
Most are not going to stop them from going to slavery just because you with it.
Right.
They're still going to go to slavery. So,
come on, let's go back to the question.
Verse 4. But thou shalt go unto my country, and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. And the servant said unto him, peradventure the woman will not be willing to follow me unto this land.
Right.
But I needs bring thy son again unto the land from whence thou camest. And Abraham said unto him, beware that thou bring not my son thither again.
Right.
And Yahweh power of heaven, which took me from my father's house, and from the land of my kindred, which spake unto me, and that swore unto me, saying, unto thy seed will I give this land. He shall send his angel before thee, and thou shalt take a wife unto my son from thence.
All right. So we see here that Abraham is sending his servant, right, to complete a job. Go out there, find my son a wife. But he's saying that the angel of the Lord is going to go before you in this endeavor. And that's how we got to see this thing. When we go out into the highways and byways, when we talking to our people, right, when we going about keeping the commandments ourselves, the Most High is sending an angel before us. And if we trust in the way that the Most High tell us go, we'll have no problem. Because that's the way that he's sending his angel, right? The way that he's sending his angel before you, that's the way that you got to follow, right? It's almost like he's sending a light before you. If you choose to turn to the right hand, you're going into darkness. Because the light is going one way. Let me get Proverbs 3 and 5. The light is going one way. That's why when you read the second Ezra 7, right? And you read Matthew 5, you see they keep saying that the pathway is narrow. It's straight. You can't keep turning it, it's not crooked, it's straight. Because you gotta follow the path of the Most High, man, if you want to be successful. Right? And then when we read in Joshua 1 and 8, if we want good success, what we got to do? We got to keep the commandments of the Most High. So everything ties in together. Read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 5. Read. Trust in Yahweh with all thine heart.
It say what?
Trust in Yahweh with all thine heart.
It says trust in the Most High with all thine heart. Right? It didn't say a part of it. It didn't say a part of it. It said all of it. Read.
And leave not unto thine own understanding.
Don't lean upon your own understanding, right? Don't try to go there and try to do things yourself, right? Don't try to go there and say, I wrote down this checklist for a woman, and this is how I'm gonna go about it, right? Just trust in the Most High that He already prepared the way. Read.
In all thy ways acknowledge Him.
It say what?
In all thy ways acknowledge Him.
And everything that this servant is about to go and do, he needs to acknowledge the Most High to make sure that he's staying on track. That's the way that we need to conduct our lives too. Whenever you feel like, we say the term going off. When you going off, what? You going off from what? From what the Most High told you. That's what we say. So in order to check yourself in life, you got to check, the Most High say do this? No, it's not. I'm going off. And sometimes it's going to be shameful. Sometimes it's going to be hard. But guess what? If you don't do it today, you got to do it tomorrow. And you got to do the next day. If you don't do it at all, then you know destruction is coming your way in the latter days. All right? And we don't want that. That's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid our punishment. We're trying to avoid the punishment of wickedness. We'll go back to the point.
Verse 8. And if the woman will not be willing to follow thee,
right,
then thou shalt be clear from this my oath. Only bring not my son thither again.
Right.
And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and swore unto him concerning that matter.
Right.
And the servant took 10 camels of the camels of his master, and departed, for all the goods of his master were in his hand. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia, into the city of Nahor.
Right.
And he made his camels to kneel down without the city by a well of water, at the time of the evening, even the time that women go out to draw water. And he said unto Yahweh, power of my master Abraham, I pray thee, send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abraham. Behold, I stand here by the well of water,
right,
and the daughters of the men of the city come out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel,
right,
to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink, and shall say, drink, I will give thy camels drink also. Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for thy servant Isaac.
Right.
And thereby shall I know that thou hast shown kindness unto my master.
So the servant is praying, Yahweh, let the woman who comes forth, right, let her have a meek spirit about her, right? Let her be chaste in her conversation, right? Let her be willing to do, right, above and beyond. Right? These are characteristics that the servant is praying for that this wife for Isaac has. Read.
Son, I gotta preach that.
Okay, come with
because this is teaching us like an attribute, like you're saying a woman should have. Right? We're gonna get Sirach 36, and I want you to start from 22. 36 and 22. That's what teaches us. Because us being young, young men, every man wants a what? Like a wife that's bad, right? A woman that's like, you sick as hate. A wife that's bad, somebody who you can just look at 24/7, like she's a trophy. But one thing we understand when we come into the truth is, beauty is good. Sisters, I don't tell you to go get a brother who looks like a garbage can.
Let's read down to verse 21 before you get that.
Son.
To give more context in that. So go back to Genesis.
Son.
Read down to verse 21.
So it's not the physical attributes that really should be weighing everything, and you're weighing should you be with this person or not, but the spiritual, right? The mental part, because that's what's gonna last.
Right.
Because that woman's assets and the breast, all of that is gonna go away at one day. The lips, everything gonna go away. So what's gonna be there? Her mind and what else? Her spirit. That's what's gonna be. That's what really gotta attract you. Likewise for men, this is sometimes want a brother who's like 6'10", about 15 abs, packed abs, and all that. Now he a damn Matrix character. I don't know, like he a mutant, right? But all that's not gonna last. It's the brother's mind and his spirit. That's what's gonna last. That's what's gonna keep you. All right.
Read verse 15 down to 21. Then we'll go into those verses.
The book of Genesis, chapter 24, and verse 15.
Right.
And it came to pass before he had done speaking.
Say it again.
Before he had done speaking.
So before the servant even finished with his prayer, right? Let's see what happened. Read.
That behold, Rebekah came out,
right?
Who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah,
right?
The wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder.
So this woman, Rebekah, then already came out. So all the things that he was praying to the Most High to let her be like, the Most High had then already made this wife for Isaac, right? It was just now for the servant to go get her and bring her back to Isaac. But nonetheless, that's how we got to take something from it. When we pray for something, the Most High probably already got it handled already. But you got to continue to walk in faith in order to receive it. You still have to do things in order for everything to go right. So now we see that the servant was praying for this, right? Now we about to see how everything is going to come to pass. But look at the order in which everything is done so that everything came to pass smoothly. Read.
Verse 16. And the damsel was very fair to look upon.
Right, said very fair, not just fair, very fair. So this Rebecca was what we would say today, bad. Read.
a virgin.
Uh-huh.
Neither had any man known her.
Right? And she a virgin. That's like that's worth how much, Cat? What you say? That's invaluable right there. That's far price of those rubies, man. You bad and you a virgin? Listen, you're not seeing that today like that. Let's just be honest. You're not seeing that today, right? You're not seeing that today.
But let me just add on to. Remember, it's not just the physical.
Yeah,
right?
come on.
You gotta have the attributes that fits the physical. You understand what I'm saying? Because a sister could be a whore, repent, and be a better wife than somebody who is a virgin who don't know how to be a wife.
Right.
And vice versa. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very important that the attributes. We always gotta remember it.
We gonna go into that, but let's just as we see it, we see that she's very beautiful, right? She's a virgin, hasn't known any man. Read.
And she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up.
Right.
And the servant ran to meet her and said, "Let me, I pray thee, drink a little water of thy pitcher."
Right.
And she said, "Drink, my other one." And she hastened and let down her pitcher upon her hand and gave him drink. And when she had done giving him drink, she said, "I draw water for thy camels also." Until they had done drinking. Right. And she hastened and emptied her pitcher into the trough and ran again unto the well to draw water and drew for all his camels. Right. And the man, wondering at her, held his peace, to wit whether Yahweh had made his journey prosperous or not.
So we see that she's now showing those attributes. She got the beauty, right? She kept herself undefiled, right? While she's in her father's house, and she has the attributes. So that's right there. That's what you would call a wife, right? This isn't just a random woman because it said this was a well that a lot of the women came out and draw water. Probably all these women wasn't like that, but Rebecca was. So now let's get that precept. Sirach 36 and verse 22. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 22. And it says, "The beauty of a woman cherisheth the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better."
So yes, you seeing a beautiful woman, yes, that's how she's bad. What do you like about her? She's bad, right? Any man wants somebody who looks good. Right? Likewise, any woman wants somebody who looks attractive to them. Read.
And a man loveth nothing better.
What? Nothing what?
And a man loveth nothing better.
Read.
If
read.
There be kindness.
If there's kindness, right? She's sweet. She's meek. She knows those right things to make you feel like you got butterflies in your stomach. Because the beauty looks good until she's calling you a nigga and she's going out to the club at night. And the chicken is still frozen in the sink.
Right.
She's bad until that chicken is still frozen in the sink.
Right.
There's a pot of water and she didn't even boil it, or if you put some salt in the water to boil it.
That's Ecclesiasticus.
That's how you know the scripture good. So you got that down.
Right. Ecclesiasticus chapter 36 and verse 22.
Read.
The beauty of a woman cherisheth the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better. If there be kindness.
If there be kindness, she's nice. Read.
Meekness.
She's humble. Read.
And comfort.
When you feeling like your world is crashing, this is one of the most key things. I wish there was more sisters that would be doing. One of the things that we see that goes on, especially with men, right? A lot of times a brother will be prominent, he got the beautiful woman, but that beautiful woman don't know how to comfort him. Right. So who that powerful man usually gets with? The secretary, right? Because the secretary doing everything that he wants. And you know how to comfort him, right? That's one of the key things, because you have to know how to comfort, right? You have to see somebody who knows how to comfort you. When you stressed out, or you feel like your world's about to come crashing down, that woman that you with, she got to be able to know how to do the right things or say the right thing to make you feel like everything's going to be all right. And that's very key. Because at the end of the day, that's what every man desires. More than a beautiful woman. Go ahead.
If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue.
In her what?
In her tongue.
Read.
Then is not her husband like other men.
Read.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
When you have your wife, when you have this woman, she's a possession to you. Right? She's something that's very nigh unto you. That's why she has to have these characteristics. Because she's that close to you. That means she can give you the biggest and deepest blows. Because she's that close to you. Read.
A help like unto himself.
A help like unto your what?
Unto himself.
Because the woman was created to be a what? What's a woman created to be? To help me, to help you in whatever you need help with. Read.
And a pillar of rest.
A pillar of what?
A pillar of rest.
Oh, a pillar of stress.
A pillar of rest.
A pillar of rest. Because just like you know what your job is as men, right? Everybody knows what their job is as men, right? We all know what we have to do. The woman, just to make sure that woman knows what she has to do. Because our job as men, does it ever stop? Their job doesn't stop being that pillar of rest, that help me, that comforter. Your job doesn't stop. Likewise, would it make sense for a man to stop being a provider for a month?
Right.
Would it stop? Would a man have a permission to stop being a leader in the hedge of protection for a month or a year? There's no stopping. Your job is 24/7. Likewise, the woman's as well. So let's go right there.
Let me get Sirach chapter 25, verse 21. Jump to Sirach 25, 21. So that was Sirach 36 and 22 to 25. Now let's go to Sirach 25 and verse 41. Right? Because when you out in this world, right, and let me make this, right? You know, we talk about a woman, who, is chaste, virgin, didn't know any man, beautiful. But at the same time, we gotta hold ourselves accountable as men, right? We can't be whoremongers all our lives and then say, well, that's what I want to do, right? So when we having our sons, it's probably too late for some of us, right? We ran the streets, we did what we did. But us having sons, we can't encourage the same type of behavior. We can't encourage them because Isaac wasn't being a whoremonger before he got Rebecca, right? He was in his father's house. He was walking with the Most High. So it wasn't like Isaac was a whoremonger and then he got this beautiful chaste virgin, right? He himself, right, was undefiled. Him himself didn't let the spirit of lust beguile him and have him be a whoremonger with Canaanite women and then go and get his wife. Right. So we also got to hold the men to a certain standard, right? But that's how it should be, right? If we throughout, in our congregation, if we start to, arrange marriages, your son shouldn't be a whore. I don't want you giving your whoremongering son to my daughter. Right? I'm gonna be honest. I don't want your whoremongering son giving to my daughter. Right? Just like you wouldn't want my whorish daughter giving to your son who done held it down. Right? He's 20 years old. He done went through high school. He made it out. He ain't do nothing. He in college now. He still ain't doing nothing. And after all that work, I'm gonna give him my no. Right? So we gotta tighten this thing up. But let me get Sirach 25:21.
The book of Sirach, chapter 25:21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman.
They say what?
Stumble not at the beauty of a woman.
So like we said, the beauty is good, but don't stumble at it. Like the cap say, what you like about her? She look good. What you like about her? She look. You stumbling. You don't even know what else to say. All you can say is she look good. Right? Your mind is gone. You don't know what. All you look at her, she just got you in a trance. Right? Read.
And desire her not for pleasure.
Don't desire her for pleasure, but desire her to be a helpmeet. Because like you said, the pleasure, it's not pleasurable living with a woman who look good and she at the club every day, right? And she telling you if you don't get her nails and her toes done, she's gonna reply to the dude on Snapchat, right? You don't like that. Now you out here taking out loans to take care of this woman because she just looks so good. Right?
Verse 23.
Come, read.
Verse 23. A wicked woman.
It say what?
A wicked woman.
It say a wicked woman, read.
Abateth the quarry. Maketh in heavy conflict.
Right.
And a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees.
She break them, she tear them down, and she break them down. Right?
So if she could tear you down, that means she could also what? She could build you up. That's why it's very important that she has these attributes. And that's very important, for our women to make sure that they pay attention to that. Because just like it doesn't make sense for a man to take a pause on his responsibility and the things he has to do for you, it completely makes no sense at all for you as well.
Right.
Because this is an ongoing job that we have to do.
It's like it. I'm going to read verse 18, and I want you to give me 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 6. It's Genesis chapter 24, verse 18. It says, and she said, drink, my Lord. Now, Rebecca don't know this man from a can of paint, right? She just met this dude. But what is she? She's showing him a level of respect. Drink, my Lord. Now, sometimes our women, they don't want to consider their husband their Lord, or they don't want to even address him as such. But give me 1 Peter 3 and 6.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 6.
Read.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham.
You say what?
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham.
It says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, read.
Calling him Lord.
Calling him what?
Lord.
Calling him what?
Lord.
Right? Sarah called Abraham her Lord, man. Right? Rebecca, she don't even know, right? She showed respect to this man. She called him Lord. Right? So it's just showing a level of respect that your woman should have for you also, and you for her likewise. Because that's what we got to try to also get back good, is our relationship within our nation, man, right? Between the man and the woman. Because there's been an ongoing rhetoric, right, about the so-called black man and black woman, right? The black man, he can't provide for his household. He don't raise his children. He'd rather be at the club getting drunk. The woman, she don't want to, submit to her husband. She's loud. She's obnoxious. She's all these things. We got to clear all that up. We have to clear all that up. If we talking about building a nation, we got to clear all that up, man. We got to start going by what the Most High said to do, right? Husbands, love your wives, right? Wives, submit to your husband. Children, obey your parents. We got to establish that structure within our community. Because that's how we're going to continue to build the strength of this nation. Because now everybody's on what? One accord. The wife is submitting to her husband, not because you told her to, because the Most High says to. Husbands are loving their wives, not because you're forced to, but because the Most High told you to. Children are obeying their parents, not because they bought them some gifts, but because the Most High told you to. We need to link everything back to the Father, man, and that's how we get control over our household. Let's go back to the point. Verse 22.
Verse 22. And it came to pass, as the camels had done drinking,
Right.
that the man took a golden earring of a half a shekel weight, and 2 bracelets for her hands, of 10 shekels weight of gold,
Right.
and said, Whose daughter art thou? Tell me, I pray thee. Is there room in thy father's house for us to lodge thee?
So now the servant didn't just say, "Yep, you're the one. Let's go." Right? Got my master's son Isaac. Hey man, cool dude. Hey, he got that money. Hey, his father leaving everything. Just get on the horse. We out. Just ride. No, you gotta go talk to the woman's father, because whose possession is she now? It says when you get a wife, you can get it a possession. But whose possession is she right now? She's the father's possession. You just can't take that man's possession and just run off, right? This ain't Disney Channel, right? You ain't Prince Charming. You got to go talk to that woman's father. That's how we do things in order. Remember, I said, let's see how everything comes to pass. Isaac getting his wife, because things are being done in order. So let's read.
And she said unto him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah. And she bare unto Nahor.
Right.
She said moreover unto him, We have both straw and provender enough, and room to lodge him.
Right.
And the man bowed his head and worshipped Yahweh. And he said, Blessed be Yahweh, power of my master Abraham, who hath not left destitute my master of his mercy and his truth. I being in the way, Yahweh led me to the house of my master's brother.
Right.
And the damsel ran and told them of her mother's house these things. And Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban.
Right.
And Laban ran out unto the man unto the well. And it came to pass, when he saw the earring and bracelet upon his sister's hand, and when he heard the words of Rebekah his sister, saying, Thus spake the man unto me. And he came unto the man, and behold, he stood by the camels at the well. And he said, Come in, thou blessed of Yahweh.
Right.
Wherefore standest thou without? For I have prepared the house and room for the camels. And the woman came into the house, and the man came into the house and ungirded his camels, and gave strong provender for the camels, and water to wash his feet, and the men's feet that were with him. And there was set meat before him to eat. But he said, I will not eat until I have told my errand. And he said, Take on.
Right. So before they sat down and got the festivities on, he said, Listen, let me explain while I'm here. Right? Because he doesn't know how they're going to take it. Right? Yes, Rebecca already told him what it is, but now he got to speak that out of his own mouth. Right? Because he's got to make sure that, you heard this from me. This is what I'm telling you. So before he engaged in pleasure, so to speak, let's do business first. Right? Let's understand why I'm here, what I'm here to do. And then if everything is copacetic, we go ahead and we go into these festivities. Read.
And he said, I am Abraham's servant.
Right.
And Yahweh has blessed my master greatly, and he has become great. And he has given him flocks and herds, silver and gold, and menservant and maidservants, and camels and donkeys. And Sarah, my master's wife, bare a son to my master. And when she was old, and unto him had he given all that he had.
Right.
And my master made me swear, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife to my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell.
Right.
But thou shalt go unto my master, into my father's house, and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son. And I said unto my master, Peradventure the woman will not follow me. And he said unto me, Yahweh before whom I walk will send his angels with thee,
Right.
and prosper thy way. And thou shalt take a wife for my son, for my son of my kindred, and of my father's house.
Right.
Then shalt thou be clear from this my oath, when thou comest to my kindred. And if they give not thee one, thou shalt be clear from my oath.
Right.
And I came this day unto the well, and said, O Yahweh, power of my master Abraham, if now thou do prosper my way, which I go, behold, I stand by the well of water, and it shall come to pass that when the virgin cometh forth to draw water, I say to her, give me, I pray thee, a little water of thy pitcher to drink. And she said to me, Both drink thou, and I will also draw for thy camel. Let the same be the woman whom I was appointed out to my master's son.
Right.
And before I had done speaking in my heart, behold, Rebekah came forth with her pitcher on her shoulder. And she went down to the well and drew water. And I said unto her, Let me drink, I pray thee. And she made haste and let down her pitcher from her shoulder, and said, Drink. I will give thy camels drink also. So I drank, and she made the camels drink also. And I asked her and said, Whose daughter art thou? And she said, The daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, from Milcah, whom Milcah bare unto him. And I put the earring upon her face, and the bracelets upon her hands. And I bowed down my head and worshipped Yahweh, and blessed the power of my master Abraham, which had led me in the right way to take my master's brother's daughter unto his son.
Right.
And if ye will deal kindly and truly with my master, tell me. If not, tell me, that I may turn to the right hand or to the left.
Right. So he's saying, listen, after everything that I just said, let me know how you're going to deal with this information, right? Will you allow me to take this woman back, or are you going to say, I know you said Yahweh this and Yahweh that, but yeah, I need to see. I mean, where is this guy hiding? I don't even know what he looks like. I want to talk to him, right? So he's asking, how do y'all feel about what I just presented? Read. Let's see what their response was.
Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, The thing proceeded from the Adi one.
Say it again.
From the Adi one.
It says this thing proceeded from the Most High, right? What you just told us, this came from the Most High. Read.
We cannot speak unto thee bad or good.
Right? So they say, listen, we really ain't got no say-so in this, right? This is coming from the Most High. If this is who the Most High ordained Isaac to be with, what can we say? It just so happened to be my daughter, right? But it's nothing that we can speak on it, right? We can't say, oh, this is good. We can't say this is bad. Listen, at the end of the day, this is what the Most High says, regardless of how we feel about it. Read.
Behold, Rebekah is before thee.
Right.
Take her and go, and let her be thy master's son's wife.
Right.
As Yahweh has spoken. And it came to pass that when Abraham's servant heard their words,
right,
he worshipped Yahweh.
He did what?
He worshipped Yahweh. Bowing himself to the earth. And the servant brought forth jewels of silver. And jewels of gold,
right,
and raiment, and gave them to Rebekah. And he gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things.
So we see that what? The servant saw this woman, went, talked to her father, explained what he was doing there, got the answer from them that say, okay, we okay with this, right? And then gave what? A dowry, right? Spoke to the father, giving a dowry. Read.
And they did eat and drink, he and the men that were with him,
right,
and tarried all night. And they rose up in the morning,
right,
and he said, Send me away unto thy master. And her brother and her mother said, Let the damsel abide with us a few days, and the least 10.
Right.
After that she shall go. But he said unto them, Hinder me not, seeing the other one has prospered my way.
Right.
Send me away that I may go to my master. And they said, We will call the damsel and inquire at her mouth. And they called Rebekah and said unto her, Wilt thou go with this man? And she said, Damn right. I will go.
Uh-huh.
And they sent away Rebekah, their sister, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant and his men.
Right? So we see here that they also took consideration with Rebecca and said, hey, you want to go with this man? Right? Because yes, as fathers, we do have possession of our daughters, right? But if you're not like, Daddy, like, I really don't want, like, I really don't like this guy. You're like, oh, I don't care. You're going to go ahead and marry him anyway. Yeah, you could do that, but you got to have some type of compassion for your daughter, right? At least say, do you like the brother? Have you heard things about him? Because, right, we know that she, the servant must have told her something about Isaac a little bit, right? Because she's willing to go. She's heard a great deal about this man who she's going to go and marry. So that's the same thing too. So, but we know that our daughters, we also got to have a mindful eye, right? If she's like, I don't want to be with him, but I want to be with Jake off the block. Well, then your reason for not wanting to be with this righteous man is not what I think it is, right? It's not because it's something that you're not feeling. You just want to go run the streets with such and such. That's not about to happen, right? But nonetheless, we see things being in order, right? So the wife has agreed, the parents have agreed, a dowry has been given, the father understands who she's going to go be with, right? So we see everything being done in order. So now let's keep reading.
And they blessed Rebekah and said unto her,
Uh-huh.
Thou art our sister,
Right.
be thou the mother of thousands of millions,
Uh-huh.
and let thy seed possess the gates of those that repay them.
Right.
And Rebekah arose and her damsels, and they rode upon the camels,
Right.
and followed the man, and the servant took Rebekah and went his way.
Uh-huh.
And Isaac came from the way of the wall, Lahai Roy, and he dwelt in the south country.
Right.
And Isaac went out to meditate in the field.
He did what?
To meditate in the field.
It says Isaac went out to meditate in the field, right? Let's see what he was meditating on. Give me Psalms 1 and 2. All right? It's like it. Give me Psalms chapter 1 and verse 2. All right, so like we said, Isaac wasn't a whoremongering man. Isaac was keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the Most High, right? Isaac inherited that covenant, right? Isaac is a man who's going to order his household aright. So we see that this joining, right, is between two people with their mindset on who? The Most High, right? She has the qualities of a wife. He has the qualities of a righteous man. Now this household should be righteous, right? That's how things need to be looked at. How do I obtain a righteous household? That should be your aim as an Israelite man and woman. I want a righteous household, right? There's nothing more. There's nothing better that you can hope for. There's nothing better that you can long for than a righteous household. Because in a righteous household, what do you have? You have order. You have structure, right? You have submission. You have peace, right? Why wouldn't you want that? Why do you want anything else? Why do you want anything else? Right? Because sometimes we get puffed up, right? As Israelites saying we can handle anything. We handle slavery, right? We handle getting fired from our job. We handle having 8 kids and only going to the store with $200 on the EBT, and we still make it work. Yes, but why would you want to go through that? Yes, we could possibly do it, but why would you want to go through that? Right? Because then you end up doing what? Because she done got you so mad, now you done ran off with the little sneaky dude, right? Now that he didn't get you what you wanted, now you're going to go and entertain this dude at the job, right? So now chaos is going to come. Eventually chaos is going to come. And nothing can stand with chaos, right? Read. Psalms 1 and 2.
In the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 2.
Read.
But his delight is in the law of your house. And in his law doeth he meditate day and night.
So that's what Isaac is meditating on. Isaac is meditating on the law, statutes, the commandments of the Most High. That's what should be on your mind, right? Of course, this is life. Other things are going to take over your mind, from time to time. But nonetheless, try to keep your mind continually on the Most High. Especially when you're going out trying to get a woman. You gotta consider the Most High. All this wisdom, all these precepts that come out, don't throw them away, right? When it's time to, go out there and try to look for a mate, right? Keep that, because that's what's gonna lead you to a righteous household. Read. Go back to the book.
And they blessed Rebekah. Verse 61. And Rebekah arose and her damsels. And they rode upon the camels and followed the man. And the servant took Rebekah and went his way. And Isaac came to like verse 63. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at eventime. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels are coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes And when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the candle. And she said unto the servant, What man is this that walketh in the field to meet us?
Right.
And the servant had said, It is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself.
Right. So she presented herself to Isaac in a meek way, in a humble way. Right. She covered herself. That's Isaac. Because now remember, they journeying back, right, from her father's house all the way back over here. They probably having conversations. Probably, the servant's probably telling her about Isaac this. Now she finally see the man. Right? So she want to present herself humbly because she's like, yo, what I heard about this man, all the gifts that, he came with and everything like this, and his father's wealthy and he's inheriting it. Not only that, he's the man of the Most High. She's like, hey, I'll take it, right? So she wants to humbly accept, right, this blessing that the Most High gives her to be joined to this man. Read.
And the servant told Isaac all the things that he had done.
Right.
And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent. And took Rebekah. And she became his wife.
And she did what?
And she became his wife.
So now, we just don't jump and see Isaac taking Rebekah and she just becomes his wife. We see what? The servant going to find the woman, talking to her parents, giving a dowry, right? The woman agreeing to come to be with this man. Now Isaac taking her, having sex with her, and becoming his wife, right? That's the whole process. Because if you go and you just have sex with a random woman, you leave her, never talk to her again, never talk to her father, right? Never get any type of endowment or anything. That's just a harlot that you just slept with. That's it, right? That's just a harlot that you slept with. Give me Exodus 22, verse 16, right? Give me Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16. Huh? Because let's see, even if you do lay with a woman, let's see who can disannul, right, this supposed covenant that you're supposed to have with, right?
The book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 16. Read. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed,
right,
and lie with her,
and do what?
And lie with her.
So let's say, for instance, let's say Isaac went by himself to find this woman, right? Now, when we entice women with what? Not just our words, with money too, right? So Isaac could have brought out all the rings and the earrings and did all this, and Rebecca could have been like, "Who are you?" Yeah, I'm Isaac, baby, right? And then they go and lay together, right? Then he say, "Hey, by the way, who's your father? I think we need to go holler at him, let him know what we got going on." Read.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
He said, "Surely endow her to be his wife." So now he's about to go up to the old boy, right, and try to pay the endowment. Read.
If her father utterly refused.
If her what?
If her father utterly refused.
But if her father say, first of all, young man, what are you doing with my daughter, right? Tell me what it is. Tell me what's going on right here. Like, why my daughter, she went out to draw some water. She coming back the next day what's going on here, read?
If the father utterly refused to give her unto him, he should pay money according to the dowry of virgin.
So now you still got to pay that money. But guess what? That's not your what? That's my daughter still. I'm not allowing you to have her. Right? So we can't skip that step. That's what we got to understand now today, right? So now if the father wasn't there, right, the brother, right, somebody who's in a position, right, close to kindred to her, they say, yeah, you know what? That's fine, right? If it isn't the brother, the closest male, right? So if it isn't the father, it could be the uncle, probably the father's brother, right, or the son, right, cousin, somebody, right, some male to say, you know what? Okay, cool. Because if you just run off and just have sex with her, whatever, that's it. That's not your wife. Because unless that father give it away, that's not your wife. That father, that closest male relative, somebody has to give away that woman to you, right? But of course, let's say for instance, she was abandoned at birth, right? Don't know father, mother, don't know closest kin, whatever, right? Hey, if it's a foster father, don't matter, but somebody, right? Somebody. So we see that it's not just, oh, I just took this woman, I let, oh, my wife now, right? What if that sister didn't know that? What if that sister didn't know nothing about, marriages, all right? But you see she's beautiful, you say, you know what, I'm going to try to trap this sister. I'm going to have sex with her, I'm going to tell her she's my wife. She look at you like, you what? Like, I was just having fun like you was having fun. Now you talking about somebody, your wife, right? Now the girl go and find somebody else, now you want to threaten the girl, that's crazy, it causes confusion. There has to be some type of transference of that. So we see everything happen in order, and she became his wife. And that's how we have to go about it as men, right? You want to get your first wife, second wife, your third wife, follow that order. Find out who's that next of kin to her. Hey, let me talk to your father, talk to your brother, right? See if they vibe with it. Now I remember asking this question one time when I was first coming to the truth, I said, what if the father doesn't want to give me his daughter because I'm in the truth? And you know what I was told? I told I got to take that L, right? Because you would think, well, I mean, he can't tell me no just because I'm in the truth. I'm doing the right thing. But it don't matter. If that father say no, I want to give her the Ray down the block. You gotta go. You gotta go. Right? Ray wins. Right? Right. 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 It's nothing wrong with that. But the dowry probably don't even have to be money. Let's say I didn't have money like that. So let's say I had enough to provide. And Madan, and Medan, and Ishbak, and Shua. And Joksan begat Sheba and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were Ashurim and Letushim and Lumim. The sons of Medan, Ephah, Epher, Hanak, Median. The sons of Midian, Ephah, Epher, Hanak, Abidah, and Eldah. All these were children of Keturah. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. So he gave Isaac everything as an inheritance, all his possessions, all the chief things of the possession. Well, let's see what he did with the other children. But unto the sons of the concubine, which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son. So he sent them away, just like how he sent Ishmael away from Isaac. Go ahead. While he yet lived eastward unto the east country. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life which he lived, 100 3 score and 15 years. And Abraham gave up the ghost and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. And Isaac, and his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, which is before Mamre, the field which Abraham purchased of the sons of Heth. There was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that God blessed his son Isaac. And Isaac dwelt by the well of Lahai Roi. Now these are the generations of Ishmael and Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare to Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names according to their generations, the firstborn of Ishmael.
So we're going to get a recap on how many children Ishmael had and who the children are. Go ahead.
The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebajoth and Kedar, Adbeel and Mishbam, Mishma, Duma, Masa, Hadar, and Timah, Zetur, Napish, and Kedemah. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names, by their towns and by their castles. 12 princes according to their nations. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people. And they dwelt from Havilah to Shur, which is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren.
So Ishmael died by the end of this portion. So when you read in verse 18 that from Havilah to Shur, that is before Egypt, that'll give you the original region where the Ishmaelites were really, where they were originally at. So let's get the Most High round of applause for the portion.
All praise be to the Father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, surely mercy endures forever. Let me see if they have the announcement. No, they do not. They don't have it in the chat. Go ahead.
So yeah, there's no announcements, but we just thank for everybody online who always tunes in. Hopefully the portion was edifying. Our ultimate goal is to just wake up the children of Israel, right? Bring Jacob back onto the Most High. All right, so we thank for everyone taking out their time to join us, and just kind of continue to get this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Continue throughout your week to be vigilant in your word. Always exercise your spirit that it may be strong enough to overcome your flesh. But once again, we just thank the family online, and we ask for it to be your spirit to donate to our Cash App $sign LOGMBC. All right, $sign LOGMBC, and we just thank for all the donations and all the charities, Lord, that He's given us. So with that, I want to say Emmanuel or Pania Hakunam, rather than take the east. This is the covenant between Yahweh and the children of Israel. Deuteronomy 26 and verse 16. Read and repeat. This day Yahweh thy God hath commanded thee to do these statutes and judgments. Thou shalt therefore keep and do them with all thine heart and with all thy soul. Thou hast avouched Yahweh this day to be thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes and his judgments, and his commandments, and his judgments, and to hearken unto his voice. And Yahweh hath avowed thee this day to be his peculiar people, as he promised thee, and that thou shouldest keep all his commandments and to make thee high above all nations which he hath made, in praise and in name and in honor, and that thou mayest be an holy people unto Yahweh thy God, as he hath spoken. Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahushai, the water, the Yod, Man. Abba Yahweh, we come to your humble heart, mind and soul. The water Yahweh for allowing us to have another Shabbat day. The water Yahweh, Lord, for keeping us and preserving us throughout the week, almost on. We ask you, Lord, to please forgive us, Lord, for our iniquities, for our sins, for our transgressions. We ask, Lord, that you place a healing hand upon Officer Mathalta with Sister Marie. We also ask, Lord, you place a healing hand upon Officer Katab's mother. We ask, Lord, that you cast out all unclean spirits, Lord, all demons, Lord, out of the children of Israel, O Yahweh, Lord. We ask, Lord, that you open up our ears and open up our eyes, Lord, that we may behold your glory, Lord, on a daily basis, O Yahweh. That we continue, Lord, to seek you early, Lord, that you may be found of us, O Most High. We thank you, Lord, for the angels, thank you, Lord, for the protection that you have around us, Lord, with your angels, O Most High. We ask you, Lord, that you just continue to be with us, continue to guide us and protect us. For Hashem, Mashiach, Yahushua, the water from God, Amen. The Most High on as well.
There's no power like Yahweh, great King of the universe, always doing wondrous things. Let all Israel sing, amen. Sing amen, 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 amen. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Amen, 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 amen. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Countdown, countdown, countdown. 1,
Abraham,
2,
Isaac,
3, Jacob. 4, brothers wake up. 5, to reality. 6, nationality. Hit it. Israel. 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 Late at night, when I'm sleeping in, my spirit starts to creeping in my bones. In my bones. In my bones. In my bones. Let's get to heaven. Let's get to heaven. When I get to heaven, people gonna say, how'd you earn your living? And how'd you earn your pay? And I reply with a little bit of anger. I earn my living as an Israelite ranger. I carry my Bible by my side. Gonna carry my Bible till the day I die. Israel. Israel. Hallelujah. 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 Praise his name. Praise his name. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All praises. Whoa, 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 whoa. Standing tall, looking good. Preaching to our neighborhood. Standing tall, looking good. Preaching to our neighborhood. Yelling, oh, 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 hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Praise his name, praise his name, hallelujah, hallelujah. All praises to the Most High hand.